Hello, this video will help you use Easybib to create citations that are done correctly and quickly. You'll find Easybib will make your life much easier when you're working on papers. I'm in Academic Resources again, which is over here on the left in the bar in your Blackboard class. And I'm going to click on Dietz Library and Power. And underneath Need Help with Citations, I'm going to click on Sign Up for Premium Access Now. Now, part of this I am not able to show you because I've already signed up, but what you'll see is over here it'll have login and sign up. So the first thing you need to do is to sign up. You'll put in your information and it will ask for a coupon code, which it should say there. It's either, I'm not remembering quite well if it was Southwestern or Southwestern College. So you put that in the coupon code box and it should give you a account. If I click on My Projects, this is what it will look like when you first start after you've signed up for your account. You can click on a new project and name it whatever you want to name it. It doesn't matter. But you do want to make sure you want to default to the APA style because that's what you'll be using for this class. So you can call it APA Core 110. That's what I will call this. And create. And then from here, every time you'll go in, you'll just click on bibliography so that you can keep building your bibliography as you go. Now I know for this class you only have to have 3, so it's not quite a big deal, but for other classes you'll have to have several citations. So this is really important to have this account to save all these citations, and it'll just save you so much time. So we're in here, it should be on APA, but I'm going to click that to make sure it goes to APA. I have to check that. So I made sure it was on the right style. And then you have all of these different tabs. So what you do is you decide what type of source you have. If you have a book, you can click on that. And you can just type in the title. I'm going to use this as an example. If it's been cited before, you can click on it and click Cite This. And then it gives you some information to make sure it's correct. Kind of look through it. You can still, it doesn't even matter if it isn't correct because even after I create the citation, I can still edit it. But looking at it, remember for APA you use the last name, first initials, the year comes next. Then for capitalization you always capitalize the first word and then the first word for the subtitle, and if there's any proper nouns, like a word like Einstein, you would capitalize that. And so this one has then its publisher and publishing, where it was published, and publishing company, and so it looks good. And this is a print one. Now if I go back to book, let's say you have an ebook. I'm going to click on manual cite, and so you can change that to ebook. And so from there, and you can do this also in print, but I'm going to show you, you can say I'm just doing a chapter section, and you can also do this for the in print too. Or you can say I'm doing the whole book. However, you put the author, source, volume, edition, series if there is, publication year, version, if there's a certain, it's like, you know, the 6th version or whatever, URL, and do not need to put the date access. This was a problem of several of my past students thinking that this had to be done. This is not, do not put this in, don't even worry about the date accessed. And then if there was a DOI, which usually books don't, but if there was a DOI, that's where you place it. Now if you have a journal, you can click on Journal here. You can put in, if you have that DOI number, you can put that in and see if it's been cited before. You can try the title keyword, or you can also do the manual cite. So what's added here is, of course, you have an article title. If it's an abstract only, you really, most of the time, you shouldn't be citing an abstract. You'll be citing the full article, so you just keep that there. You have your author. You have the journal title, volume, issue, series, the year, page numbers. Again, do not do this date accessed. Then here, and I'll use this this one as an example. If we scroll down, this one did have that DOI number, so here you would just copy and paste it from here back into here. Now if it doesn't have the DOI, it says to use the URL. Now in the databases, they use their URL address from the database, and that's what I like to see. But technically, you're supposed to go online and find the website of the journal and then put that in. So let's see if I can find this one. I'm not sure. Sometimes this is what I like, is the permalink. But it's not coming up here. Usually it'll show up right here and you can copy and paste, but I'm not seeing this. So let's see if we can find this online. I'm just going to paste this into Google. And so here it is here. And you would, and this is if we didn't have the DOI, but then here you would paste it. And you don't have to do both. You do one or the other. So if there was no DOI, this would be out. And this would be what you would use for the URL. But you can, and this is up to your teacher, you can use the URL from the database. That's what I prefer, but not all teachers. Some teachers like to go by the book and will want this from the website. Need to ask about that. I will accept either or, but if there's a DOI, please use the DOI. Now the other thing I just want to point out too is, if you notice, there's a database tab. And so you can add in from a database. So let's say we have this one. Oops. Yeah, this one doesn't want to cite. Let me try and see if this other one will cite. Oh, I'm having some technical difficulty. So, with both of them, I'm going to try and refresh. Let's see what I can get. I noticed there we go. And this is a good example. I do want to use this one. So I'm going to copy. Going back into Easybib, I'm in Database tab. I hit copy and paste. And I'm going to paste this in. But if you remember what I said, only the first word and proper nouns are capitalized. So I will have to change this one a little bit. These databases, you got to watch them a little bit. You got to know some basic rules still, even using these. Einstein's proper, God. There we we go. Create citation. And there it is. So after you've created all your citations, and let me just point out, we do have video, film. There are also other 59 options, and this is again for another class. If you're using an image, if you're using an email, if you're doing an interview, it'll help you cite all these. Now, but I do want you to kind of make sure, look at for the digital image, that because you will be adding images to a PowerPoint and you'll have to cite those. So sort of remember that for later on. We'll talk about that, of course, in a couple weeks. But here we have 2 citations. We'll just stop it there. What do you do next? You go to Export. And just to show you, normally you will want to, because you're doing something and submitting it online, you'll want to copy and paste, but I'll just show it to you this way. I'm going to print it as a Word doc to show you what happens. And I'm going to open. And as it opens, takes a second. As I said, I'm showing this, I did it as a printing as a Word doc to show you, but you would just probably copy and paste for the back of your paper. But here is your references at the back. So you can see that they are all formatted and alphabetically, double-spaced, indented. They're perfect, and you can copy and paste right into your references at the end of your paper. So that is a real lifesaver. The other thing, the one last thing that I want to talk about is, going back into the bibliography, is that if you, let's say we'll do the manual cite, and you make a citation, it will, whoops, I think I need to be over. Let's see, I'll go back into my projects here. Here it has parenthetical citation. Now it doesn't work really if you copy and paste it, but I'll use this one as the example down here, parenthetical. So you will put in your page numbers, let's say 45, and it makes a parenthetical citation that you would copy and paste. So if you've summarized, paraphrased, quoted, you will need to have this in-text citation right here, right after whatever you've done. If it's not your idea, you've used someone else's idea, you need to put a parenthetical or in-text citation that leads you to the full citation at the end of your paper. Now the last thing I'm going to show you is in Dietz library, if you happen to be in there. To find Easybib, you go to Services, Writing Citations, Writing and Citations, and there is Easybib. So either way, you can have access and work on your citations. This will save you so much time. I really encourage you to use it. But at the same time, make sure you have those handouts I gave you so you can double check and make sure your citations are correct.